Start.
Good.
Hello everyone, welcome to our technology class. Welcome Angelina too. I hope you are all in now. I see we have 7 participants here. In grade 7, I want us to go back to term 1. Remember, we said we are revising for our assessments. We are going to have a little bit of a challenging class today because we are not in a conventional class, but we are going to try and do a revision of communication skills. And we are going to look a little bit on what we did yesterday. Let me go back to it. Okay, so we will do the design process that we did yesterday. I could see that some of you were still struggling with it, and I'll be patient with you. We'll keep repeating so that you understand it, so that you breathe it. So that's what you're going to do, and then you're going to do the oblique drawing. I'm going to show you how to do your oblique drawing. I want you to have something that you can draw on. It's not complicated drawing, you'll see it's just freehand sketching. And then I'm going to show you how to draw with instruments and also how to do rendering so that you also draw things which are credible. You know, you can do drawings, but you know, they look credible when you do rendering. I hope you enjoyed this class, grade 7. Okay. Okay. We did the design process yesterday. I said we're going to repeat it because it's the foundation of the production world. Okay, in the industries, they exercise a lot of design process, so we need to know it. Okay. Just as a revision of the design process. Remember, we said these are the stages of the design process yesterday. Investigate, design, make, evaluate, and communicate. Right. We are revising the discussion of the design process, just to remind yourselves.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, darling. I'm going through your chats here. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Who is greeting me?
Me, ma'am. From yesterday, Kiandra.
All right. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed this class. Okay. Grade 7, we are going to see if we can classify the statements that I'm going to share with you into the different stages of the design process, just to make sure that you understand the design process. Okay, I hope you remember the stages of the design process. I want you to speak with me. I want you to talk to me. You will be jotting down your answers, but also I want you to speak. From tomorrow, I heard you need to raise your hand and I need to unmute you. But I hope for today, our host is going to allow you to unmute yourselves. Okay, I've just heard that it's the school that you must, you cannot unmute yourself. So we are going to do it just the last time today. Tomorrow it will be different. Okay. Now, which stage of the design process is this? You must understand what problem you have to solve or what thing you must design and make. What stage is this one? I need answers, please. Talk to me.
Are we answering the questions, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Which stage is this one?
Are we starting with question 1? Are we answering question 1 now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's understand what we need to solve. That is the first design stage.
Okay, let me help you. Let me take you back here. Let me take, I want you to write down these stages so you don't forget them. Investigate, design, make, evaluate, and communicate. Please jot them down. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. We don't have much time. I'm going to the questions now.
Okay, ma'am.
Number one, you must understand what problem you have to solve, what thing you must design and make. You said it's what? What stage is that?
That is the first stage, investigating.
Investigate. Good. 2, a design brief will state what the product must do and whether it has to be a certain size. What stage is that?
The second stage, designing stage.
The design stage. Very good. Gather the materials and tools needed. What stage is that?
Third stage, the making stage.
The making stage. Because I said there, in the making stage, you must do a cutting list. That is the list of the tools and the materials that you will need to make the solution. 4, work safely while you make your product. What stage is that?
The making stage.
The making stage. What tools do I need? Which stage is that?
The making stage.
The making stage. Does it work? What stage is that?
Evaluating stage.
Evaluating stage. Very good. You're very good. This is how I made it.
I think that is the communicating stage.
Communicating stage, when you present your product. What must I be able to do? What must I be able to do? Which stage is that?
The investigating stage.
That is, what must I be able to do? The design.
Design, okay.
How big must it be?
Designing stage.
The design stage. What will it look like?
The designing stage.
The designing stage. Which idea will work best?
The designing stage.
The designing stage. Remember, we said yesterday, you draw up 3 freehand sketches and you you give the advantages and the disadvantages of each, and then you choose the one that will have the least advantages. So that will be your best, the best or the chosen idea. Very good. You're very good. Think what you will make to solve the problem.
That is investigating.
Think what you will make to solve the problem. Yes, that is the investigation stage. Draw all your ideas or write comments.
To draw all your ideas would be the designing stage, but comments would be the communicating stage.
The comments, draw all your ideas or write comments. That will be the design stage. You know why? Because you have to comment on the advantages and the disadvantages. That
Okay.
I mean by comments. Ne? Okay, let's see. You are right. Your answers are right. Okay, how is it?
It almost got full marks.
Yes, yes, yeah. You did very well. Let's check the others. The others are very quiet. They are quiet. Okay, so that will be your design process.
Yes.
I think I skipped a slide here in my presentation, but yeah, those are your answers. How to draw oblique freehand sketches. Now, in the design stage, you have to draw freehand, okay? In grade 7, we draw oblique. That is why I chose the oblique drawing for a freehand sketch. I want you to practice drawing these, okay? Take your pencil or your pen without using any instruments. Try and draw this upright rectangle. That is step 1. Hey guys, I hope you are practicing this. I just so wish we were in class so you could do this and then I would see how you are faring, you know? But I'm going to do it anyway because drawing is a practical skill. Then you draw this. Remember, if you were using your drawing instruments, you would be using a ruler for these lines. But because we are drawing freehand, that's what we do in the design stage. We are drawing freehand. We have to practice how to draw freehand. You just draw this without using a ruler. So that's a freehand drawing. Even these sketches that are drawn here, you can see that the lines are not quite straight. You know, it's a sketch. So when you are sketching, you just draw with your pen and you try and with your pencil, you try and hold your fingers, you place your fingers a little bit further from the tip of your pencil. That is what you are doing when you are drawing freehand. I hope that you practice this. Then the next step would be to draw the next rectangle. Actually, the angle of this line, because it's an oblique drawing. If we are using instruments, the angle would be 45. So what we are doing here is okay. I keep seeing your chats and I think you are talking to me. If we are drawing using our set squares, we would put the 45-degree set square here to determine. We would be having our T-square here, and on top of it, our 45-degree set square, so that this line would be at an angle of 45 degrees. So you just draw that without using the set squares. okay? And then you draw the second rectangle like this. In the middle of this, you draw a vertical line. Then you go horizontal, up again, but you start here in the middle, okay? So that you have these rectangles arranged like this. The next thing you have to connect the edges, the corners with a line. You just connect here. There you have a freehand oblique drawing. That's what you do in grade 7. Okay. If you want to make a cube has all sides equal. You could make it shorter. Okay, not a rectangle, but draw a square. Then in the middle, you connect another line, and the next line would also be in the middle, so that you draw 2 equal blocks, and then you connect them with a line. You would be having a cube. A cube. A cube is like all sides are equal. I hope that you are practicing this, and I hope you find it easy. I remember I taught this to a grade 7 class. The teacher said they wanted me to come and teach grade 7s for them. I did this with the grade 7s and they enjoyed it, and it was very easy. I hope that you find this easy too, because we are required to do it in grade 7. Okay. Drawing is a skill, you need to practice this. So sometimes you draw oblique, but a perspective drawing. Okay, so when you do a perspective drawing, you draw a horizontal line. You draw a horizontal line here, and somewhere on the horizontal line, you plot a vanishing point. So when you plot the vanishing point, then you draw the front of your object, and then you connect it. You connect the lines to the vanishing point. So we would draw this part. We can draw this part of our table, okay? Just 2-dimensional, this part of our table. And then we plot, there is a vanishing point. Then we draw lines from this front of our table to the vanishing point. You draw another line connecting this to the vanishing point. You draw yet another line connecting to the vanishing point. Now, this part will give you an extension of your, then you can draw the top part of your table here. The lines, you see these lines, they already give you a shape towards your finishing point. So you get the shape here, you draw the top part, then you can draw the legs. Okay, I said the first thing is to draw a horizontal line. Then in the horizontal line, you make a dot somewhere here. And then you draw only the front part, of your object, because you are doing an oblique drawing. The front part of your object. Then you start drawing lines connecting to the vanishing point. You connect the front part to the vanishing point. Connect the front part to the vanishing point, and that will give you shape for your top part. Then you connect the legs. I hope you are practicing that. I know. I know it is hard, but I'm trying to make it easy for you. I'm trying to make it easy for you. That's why I'm trying to explain it step by step. Where do you start? Step by step. Okay. I want you to talk to me. Tell me if you can draw this, if you have drawn this. And tell me what, talk to me, tell me what is your experience of drawing this? Has someone drawn it?
I have, ma'am. I struggled a bit, but then I got it.
Okay. Who of you have drawn the box?
I have. Tick.
Have you drawn the box?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it easy?
Ma'am, it's medium. It's not that easy. It's not that hard.
You have to practice, ne?
Yeah.
You have to practice this, the box. Start with the box because this one is a little bit tricky.
Yeah, it is.
This one. Has someone successfully drawn this?
Yeah.
Oh, my. I lost you for a minute. It's my network. I told you it's giving me trouble. I'm in a different office. Lunga, we are drawing. We are drawing. Odiehi, I lost you for a moment, but I'm back now.
Okay.
Okay. Right. And that is perspective drawing. Perspective drawing. For others who didn't get it, I'll repeat it for the last time. You draw on the top of your page, you draw a horizontal line and you plot a dot, a vanishing point. Then somewhere on your page, you draw the front of your object. And then you are going to connect lines. You draw construction lines from the front of your object to the vanishing point, from the edges, these lines to the vanishing point, that line to the vanishing point. And then these lines are the ones that are going to give you the top part, and then you can add the legs. We can draw any object in perspective drawing as long as you know that it's a single point perspective drawing because it's 1 point, one vanishing point here. So it's single point perspective drawing. So you just do it like that. So you can draw your single point perspective drawing. Okay. Can I proceed now? Okay, When we are drawing with instruments, I don't know if your schools have drawing boards or your parents have bought you drawing boards, but these are the instruments that we use when we do a oblique drawing. Okay, you need, what is this set square? Who can tell me? What do you call this set square that we use in oblique drawing? Grade 7?
Yes, sir.
What is this set square? This one. What do you call it?
A cube.
We call it the 45 degrees set square. Why do we use the 45 degrees set square in oblique drawing? The angle between this vertical line and this diagonal line, it must be at an angle of 45 degrees. That's why we use this set square. And what do we call this instrument? It is the, we call
Ruler.
it the T-square. Okay? If you don't have a T-square, you're welcome to use the ruler. But the T-square is very much better than the ruler because this part of the T-square is the edge of your drawing board. This is your drawing board. Now that gives you a straight line, a straight horizontal line. But if you are using a ruler, the ruler can give you a line that is not really 100% straight. You can think it is straight when you look at it with your eyes, but when your teacher is assessing, they will tell you that this line is not really a horizontal line. It can be a little bit skew. Okay? And then you have your paper there and your clips. When you are drawing, to the drawing board. So we use clips. If you don't have clips, you can use what? Masking tape. Did you all hear me? If you don't have these clips, you can use what? Masking tape. So that is what you use when you are drawing. So here in this drawing, what are we drawing? We are making an oblique drawing. Mark, you don't know what it's called? It's called a 45-degree set square. This is a T-square. Why do we call it a T-square? Because it looks like a T. It looks like a T. See this top part? It makes it look like a T. All right? So it's a T-square, 45-degree set square, and your pencil, your drawing board, and your clips. That is what you must have. You must ask your parents to buy you this so that you can practice drawing, okay? Happy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, sometimes we have to draw. You see, here we are just drawing freehand. This is artistic kind of drawing. When we are designing products that you are going to make for our clients, sometimes we have to draw them so that the client will see what you will be making. So for the client to get a good impression of what you're going to make, you must use shading to make texture. You know, our drawings, they must look like the real thing that you're going to make, okay? So in the design stage, you can even include rendering. You see, if it's only a chair, It's good. Everybody can see the chair, but using texture and rendering, shading, texture and shading, it gives you a more realistic picture of what is going to be made. So you can even do this when you are designing the product that you are going to make in your design process. Okay. You know, when you are drawing, this reminds me of something. I should have thought about it earlier and put it on a slide. When you are drawing freehand and you want to show somebody that this is an orange, it is the texturing and the shading that is going to show us that this is a tomato or it's an orange. The rendering in orange, it will not be like the one for a tomato or an arki. You know, when you just make the drawing and you don't give it color and texture, nobody will know if it's an arki or it's a tomato. But if you add the color and the texture, then someone can see that, oh, it's not an apple, but it is a tomato. Because an apple can be red too, and a tomato can be red too, but it is texture and rendering and texture and shading that is going to give an impression of what you are trying to design. Do you all understand? So when you are drawing, please practice these drawings and give them, you can start with a simple drawing of a tomato. Practice drawing a tomato, an apple, an orange, a lemon. See that the texture and shading will give you a different effect. That is very important when it comes to the design process, because in the freehand sketches, you add your artistic rendering so that your client can see what you are going to make. So when they are choosing the best idea in the design stage, they can look at the image and see it for what it really will look like when it is made because of your rendering. Okay? I hope you'll practice this. Now, let us go back. This is what was left yesterday. I added these slides today. The functions of structures. What is the function of structures? I can serve you tea. I can give you tea, but how will you be able to consume the tea if it's not in a cup? We talked about milk yesterday, juice. If I want to sell juice, I can make orange juice in my house. How will I sell the orange juice if I don't have containers? I need to have containers for orange juice, maybe a 1 liter container, 3 liters, 5 liters to sell the juice with. Okay, so structures, they function to contain the functions of structures. Please remember this for your assessment. That's why I brought it in today. The functions of structures will be to contain. Okay, there are things that we cannot access without containers. And there are structures which are used to protect, like this. This is a tray, an egg tray. If I want to sell eggs, I need this tray so that I will protect my eggs. When my customers come to buy eggs, they need to be in a protective structure. So structures can also protect. You see, you have a structure also, your skull. can span a distance. So when you are making a structure, like the structures that we saw yesterday being made, we looked at shelters. Shelters. What is the function of the shelter? Who can tell me? What is the function of the shelter? Like houses. Houses, a shelter, a hut, a tent. What is the function of that?
Pardon, ma'am, what was the question?
Yes, I'm asking a question. What is the function of a house?
For shelter.
What is the function of a shelter? Is it to contain, protect, or span a distance?
To protect.
To protect. The shelter protects us from natural elements. Okay? Yes, to protect. Yes, you're right. So structures are also used to span a distance, like this bridge. Okay? This bridge, it is used to span a distance from this side to this side. So you need to build a bridge. So structures can also be used to span a distance. So that is the function of structures: to contain, to protect, and to span a distance. You must learn that for your assessment. And also, we have natural and man-made structures. We know we have to design our structures. For man-made structures, we have to design. So this is a man-made structure, and this also is a man-made structure. Okay. This one is a natural structure. This one is a natural structure, natural structure, natural structure. But also we classify structures according to their types. What type of a structure is this? This is a frame structure. It's a frame structure. It's a shell structure. It's a solid structure. It's a frame structure. And this is a, what kind of a structure is this one? It's a frame structure. Okay, it's a natural structure also. So you must be able to understand these when you are doing when you are learning your structures, the function of structures and the classification of structures. Okay, right. That is what I wanted to remind you from yesterday, because we didn't cover these two slides yesterday. Now, for assessments, to remember the classification of structures, function of structures, and must also know the design process. Design process, it also includes your drawing skills. You must never neglect your drawing skills. When you're sitting at home, if you see something, just practice how to draw the thing. You draw it oblique and you draw it using perspective drawing. In other words, you draw it like this. You try and draw it like this. This is oblique and freehand. And you also try and draw it like this, perspective. Okay. That is what you must try and practice at home. Any questions? questions? It's such a pity to be studying online because if we were in class, we'd be busy with these drawings now so that I can see that you are ready to draw these drawings in your test. But I want you to do the following now to practice when you are at home. Take your test. You have your jaws of life that you did in your first term. You did your jaws of life, right? I want you to practice how to draw your jaws of life. Especially, I want you to try and draw the oblique drawing. Mark?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to say something? Yes, Mark?
Are we answering questions, ma'am?
I'm looking at this, no, ma'am, or no
Oh,
questions.
no, I was saying
Okay.
when you're asking, do you have any questions? I just said no, ma'am.
Okay. You see this drawing, the vanishing point. I want you to look at the syringe that you were using in your jaws of life. Try and practice draw the syringe with the plunger facing this side. The plunger of the syringe should be this side. Try and draw it in perspective drawing. That's your syringe, okay? So here, the front side would be your plunger. Are you asking me something?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, I can't hear you.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
I want you to take the syringe that you use
draw
for
it
your
like this.
the jaws of life that you did in
Okay.
term 1. Yes, I want you to practice to draw the syringe. Remember the syringes?
Yes, ma'am.
Just take one syringe and draw it like this. Practice that at home.
Okay, ma'am.
Try to draw it in perspective drawing. Take your page, you look at your syringe, the plunger side of the syringe, that will be your front part. And then you draw it towards the vanishing point.
Okay, ma'am.
Try and practice that at home. Okay? And also practice drawing this and other different shapes that are in your textbook. Do an oblique sketch of them, freehand. Okay? Yeah, that will be all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.